Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another MPJ rock album review show. Welcome to my panel, Paul, Trish and Dave.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello.
And if it's your first tuning in, we have some exciting news. That one of our YouTubes, Love Bites for Gobsmacked, nearly at 1,000 views, which you are amazing. Thank you to everybody out there. Keep on listening. See if we can get over to 1K. But on the other side, some sad news that Ian can't join us today because he had a bereavement in his family. So we are thinking of you and sending you well wishes to you and your partner. However, he did send his votes in because, hey, show must go on, and thank you very much to Ian for that. So, what have we got today's show? Right, well, we have an exciting show, slightly different, I think, a little bit. So, today's Battle of the Bands, the format is we're going to review 2 albums, match them up, give our scores out of 5, and see which one comes out on top. Hopefully, both of them will come out on top, and maybe, who knows, get into our glorious Hall of Fame or make it to our shortlist for Album of the Year. Well, let's find out who we got today. We have got Cross Country Driver with The New Truth versus The Answer and their album The Sundowners. Little bit of country influence here today. So, right, well, let's crack on. Let's find out who we've got and let's find out a little bit about them. So we're going to start with Cross Country Driver. So who are Cross Country Driver? Well, written and performed by Rob Lathmore, River Dogs, James Harper, Fighting Friday, and Xander Lamoth, Logan Stats Band. Cross Country Driver's The New Truth is an old school rock roller coaster of an album. The gutsy generation continent-spanning musical adventure features inspired performances by friends like Mike Mangini, Dream Theater, Greg Chasen, Badlands, Doug Pinnock, King's X, Rhonda Smith, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Wallace, The Wallflowers, K-Fig Supreme, Extreme, and more. 2.5 years in the making, The New Truth was mixed by Grammy winner Nick Brophy. Vivian Campbell, Def Leppard, joined in on guitar and vocals on a track and said it's the best, lush, rich, deep and spirited. No one makes records like this anymore. Bravo! Roth Lothman shed stages with people like Guns N' Roses to members of Toronto Symphony Orchestra. And we go on and on and on and on. You get the gist. A little bit of a power group or not, as a case may be. Now, let's start, shall we, with the man who does like to wear a cowboy hat and has expressed wishes that he wishes to own a 10-gallon hat. I kid you not. Paul, let's talk. Cross Country Driver. What did it do for you?
What can I say? The man with the hat. So Cross Country Driver sees songwriter and guitarist Rob Lamoth of classic rock fame for his work with River Dogs in the late 80s, and recently they have had a revival album that did pretty well. The sound of New Truth has a bluesy rock, country rock feel, but the music is far more complicated to pin it down to any genre, except this is rock. There's like you've already mentioned, there's an extensive list of guests to make this album sizzle and snap, such as songs like Wild Child and Traces of Truth emphasize. Lamoth's mature voice is soulful and emotive, which leaves me feeling a little bit guilty. I haven't heard enough of this guy over the years. Overall, the album may take some listens to crack, as the music is a break away from the conventional formulated music of today, but it is well worth it.
Ooh. Now, Trish, were you in the car cross-country driving with Paul there? Because Paul seems like he wants to keep on going down Highway 66.
Okay, so New Truth has a haunting beginning to the opening track, Wild Child, that then breaks into guitars and drums in an old-school rock and roll style. The album features a lot of guest talent across all 13 songs, which all have their own identity. It's a mix of melodic rock, yet with a hit of blues, folk, but it works. There are a great many songs like A Man With No Direction or Long Gone, and then there are ones that sizzle like Wild Child and Traces of the Truth. This album is a mixed rock bag, a good solid album.
Dave, talk to me. Is this because we know? I think this has got some country influence. We know your partner in crime, a concert partner, does like a bit of country. Did this do anything for you?
There really is a lot here that I should love. Some really great instrumental stuff on here. But it's interesting what Paul was saying about the vocals, because for me that's where the problem lies. It just sounds like he doesn't want to be there. For the beginning part of the album, it just sounded like he was a bit bored. It does improve as the album goes on. But for me, I struggled to get into it because it just sounded like he didn't want to be there. Maybe I need to go and have a listen to it again. I've listened to it, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, but it just didn't seem like he wanted to be there. As I say, it just sounded like there was no real emotion in his voice, where, as I say, that's what Paul kind of highlighted. He reckoned that, there was a lot of emotion in it. So maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. But because of that, it failed to hit the mark for me. Otherwise, I think it would have been one that I would have had up there quite high, I think.
You definitely need to listen to it again. I think if you listen to Wild Child, which is the opening track of the record, I would not in any way say that he didn't want to be there.
I don't want to use the term monotone because it wasn't, because that would be really impossible to do that in a song. But that's kind of the the effect that it gave me. It just sounded like he wasn't really that interested in being there.
Wow. I don't think I've heard that one before. That's kind of interesting. So I've been hunkering after a bit of country blues kind of rock music and for a while, actually, because I think there's a huge gap in the market that isn't out and out country and isn't out and out rock, and I think this ticked a lot of those boxes. I think it was somewhere in between. I think Wild Child, Rio Telarosa, absolutely loved those tracks, thoroughly enjoyed the album. There was something. There might be something in what David says, because it wasn't an album that I desperately wanted to put it on again, but I wanted to put it on again, but I didn't desperately want to put it on again. It was a bit of a weird thought that. I know it's a bit weird, but hey, I mean, he definitely wanted to be there. He's I don't know, maybe he wanted to take a back seat for all the guest artists that were on there. Some artists do that, don't they? They just they want to try and not, all of these wonderful people on there, and they don't want to, take away from what other people are doing. So maybe he held back a little bit, I don't know, but I loved the album overall. I thought it was a cracker. If you're in a mood, and I don't care what you say, this is an out and out country rock album, out and out. I would put less more on the blues side, more on the country rock side, but with a bias towards the rock, with heavily country influences, definitely, without any shadow of a doubt. And obviously Cross Country Driver highlights that as well. The name of the actual album says that for you as well. But it's a cracker. It is an absolute cracker of a country rock album. And if you're in the mood for that, if you like a little bit of both, but you don't particularly like country, but you like the influence of country, you will not go far wrong with this album at all. It's a cracker. Wild Child in particular, Rio Telarosa I loved as well. Really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But will it do? It's now up against a band called The Answer and their album Sundowners. How will it compare? Let's find out a little bit about Sundowners, or The Answer even. Well, they're British. The Answer, a Northern Irish hard rock band from Newcastle and Downpatrick, County Down, Northern Ireland. They achieved success with their debut album Rise, selling in excess of 30,000 copies in the UK and Europe, 10,000 on day one in Japan, and 100,000 worldwide. Congrats, guys. The Answer were formed in 2000 by guitarist Paul Mahan, whose father was a jazz trumpeter, can't win them all, and a member of seminal Irish show band The Freshmen, who released 3 albums on CBS and toured with the likes of Beach Boys. Age 18, Paul, well, I don't like jazz, what can I say? Knew that he wanted to put together a rock band and mentioned to bassist Mickey Waters, he's an old school friend who had been numerous cover bands around Belfast. There we go. In late June 2000, the four members got together for their debut rehearsal 2001 and were spent rehearsing, gigging locally and building up a set, The Answer. By 2002, the band had attracted the attention of MCD Promotions in Ireland, who put put them on as openers at the Witness Festival that year. Eamon Keyes, owner of Doghouse Studios, recorded them before they were signed. So, Trish, let's go to you then, Trish. The answer. Were they the answer for you, Trish?
Well, what an opening track to an album, Sundowners, gradually building up with drums and guitars. This song had me hooked from the get-go, followed by Blood Brother, which has a bouncy riff and picks up the energy for the album. I Want You to Love Me grabs your attention with a sexy attitude. This album doesn't have a bad song on it. It delivers on all levels. If you love pure rock and roll like me, then this album is definitely the answer. See what I did there? This is a roller coaster. You don't want to get off.
What did you do there, Trish? I'm joking. Carry on.
Oh! Throw me off now, boy. Right. This is a roller coaster you don't want to get off, and it hit my sweet rock chick spot.
Ooh, no. Dave, the answer. Do you think, I'm going to ask you a question here. Do you think the lead singer wanted to be there?
This I was actually going to mention this because this is night and day for me. Compared to the other album, I mean, I enjoyed them about the same. I think, I really, really did enjoy the music in the other album, but the vocals in this much, much better for me. This one, I absolutely love this. I mean, I see it more as sort of blues rock than sort of country. That's kind of where I, sort of went with it. Really good songwriting. Blood Brothers, as Trish mentioned, great tune. Finishes on a strong point as well. Always all right. Absolutely love this. Definitely one I'm going to be purchasing, I think.
Ooh, what on your vinyl?
Yeah, got to have a bit of vinyl.
Oh, now people, you don't know. This is Dave's seal of approval. If he goes and buys it on vinyl, it's a keeper. Paul, what's the answer? The answer for you was it a keeper for you, mate? If you had your vinyl.
Got one. Too many vinyls. However, what I gotta say is that the answer I struggled with, just like Cross Country Driver. So Northern Irish infused blue rockers. The answer returned after a 7-year break to produce their new album Sundowners. For me, I had to find the question to the answer, and not like Hitchhiker's Guide. The question wasn't the meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
Pun after pun, I'm loving it. Carry on.
For me, the answer was, are you missing the type of music such as Led Zepp, The Who, and White Stripes once put out? At first, for me, the answer was no, not really. But after several listens, the Sundowners album grew on me, and at the end of the month, I can clearly say I didn't know that the answer was what I was looking for, but somehow they found me and convinced me that it was. And at the end of the day, with memorable tracks and a lasting music experience, I thoroughly enjoyed the album.
Did you see what you did there, Trish? That was clever. I was beat. That beats my analogies and puns. It smacks me out there. Do you know what? I hate to say this, but I can't agree with Paul. I think first time listening, I'm going like everything about this album. I should love. It ticks all my boxes, and yet I think part of me was going, have I heard it all before? Because I do love my blues rock, and there was definitely some country influence in there, but it was definitely more blues rock with a hint and touch of it, and it grew on me. I'm the same. I'm going like, come on, you got to give this band a chance because everything you like, and after several listens to it, I adored it. I loved it, and I couldn't wait to put it back on again. So, Blood Brothers, No Salvation, Cold Heart, all made my playlist, and I think this is a super album, and I think there was like a cross, but obviously we've listened to people like Goodbye June who are a little bit more up tempo, but it was kind of similar kind of vibe and kind of feel to that sort of band. But yeah, terrific album, terrific, really cool. If you like your blues rock with a slight infusion of country, you won't get much better. In this modern day, we don't hear enough of it. And so it is definitely a standout and a welcome back to the answer, and thank you very much for coming back after 7 years. 7, obviously lucky 7 for sure, because I think you have got an absolute cracker of an album. So let's find out, shall we? Let's find out who is going to win this battle of the bluesy kind of country vibe. And will both of them, don't forget, if they get more than 20, they get into our Hall of Fame. Will they make the shortlist also for our albums of the year? And you'll be able to find out results on the text, on the YouTube text. So let's find out. Well, we're going to start with our missing guy, Ian. Ian, thank you very much for listening. So, Ian, give them both a... Oh, what do you think? Let's have a little game. What do you
3.5.
3.5?
4.
4, Paul?
5.
Nah, just a spot on. He'd give both albums a 4. Both albums he give a 4 too. So Paul, then we started with you, so let's go to you first of all. Let's go with Cross Country Driver.
7.5.
7.5. Woohoo! Get in.
I know my maths is bad, but Paul,
I don't know why that popped in my mind. Yeah, so 4.5.
4.5 for Cross Country Driver. Wow. Okay, and the answer.
4.5.
4.5. Wow.
I'm exactly like Ian.
And
So which one would you buy?
well, he gave a 4, but yeah, same points. And which would you buy, Paul, if you had a choice? You only had so much money, exactly the amount of money. You could only buy one. Which were you going to buy?
Nigel, you already know the answer.
The other. Oh, like when you did there, Trish. Cross Country Driver.
3.5.
3.5. And the answer.
I'm getting at my 5.
5. Okay, Dave, Cross Country Driver.
67%. No. 2.5.
2.5. Oh, boo, hiss. And the answer.
4.5.
4.5. Oh, wowzers, guys. Wowzers. I give Cross Country Driver a 4, and I give the answer a 4.5. Oh, I think something could be hit in our Hall of Fame here. Let's check it out. So the Cross Country Driver is 7.5, 8, 12, 14.5, 18.5. I mean, it's still a massive score. It's still a top 50 and certainly going to get up there for some of our albums of the year. But let's just tally this up because I think I know what's coming. 9.5, 10, 14, 18.5, 22.5. 22.5 Hall of Fame. I mean, not just our Hall of Fame. I mean, right at the very, very top of our Hall of Fame. It's going to be up there in our top 5 albums, if not top. Unbelievable! Congratulations.
4.5.
You what, sorry?
4.5 average.
Yeah, 4.5 average. It's up there. I think it might be. I think it might be on a par.
I was going to say, I'm not sure there's too much.
I think it might be on a par with Beyond the Black. So I think Beyond the Black got 23. I think. But yeah, amazing, absolutely incredible. We love the answer. We love the Sundowners, and hey, to get 4.5, 5. I mean, that is spectacular. You know, if you listen to coming up to nearly 200 reviews now, then you'll kind of know why. So congratulations to the answer, and well done to Cross Country Driver as well. I mean, 8.5 is still a cracker of a score. It's only just outside our being our top 50, I think, or somewhere certainly close overall of all the albums reviewed. So well done to them as well. Congratulations to the answer. Thank you very much to my crew today, Paul, Trish, and Dave, and thank you for Ian for sending his votes in. And yeah, please keep tuning in and keep on watching. Let's see if we can get over to 1,000 views. Please like and subscribe, and we'll speak soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.